Hey Padres fans, it's time for a brand new episode of Padres POV, the Women in Sports Edition. I hope you're ready to feel empowered as we sit down with some of the top female sports executives in San Diego. Plus, we head up to Los Angeles to attend the Women of Fox Sports event on the Fox lot to learn how the sports landscape has changed for women over the years. And we get one-on-one access with our Fox Sports San Diego general manager who continues to break barriers as a female leader in the sports industry. We have all that and more right now on this brand new episode of Padres POV. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the first ever Women in Sports edition of Padres POV. I'm Lisa Lane. Women don't need to just find their voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, which is one of the reasons why Fox holds the Women of Fox Sports event up in Los Angeles to help young women learn about job opportunities within the industry. Take a look and get inspired.
My name is Rachel Grushkin. I am a board member of the Women of Fox Sports. We are here in Los Angeles today to host our first annual Careers in Production event. And so we're very excited to be introducing this group of young attendees into opportunities about careers in production. Production is an area that many individuals don't know what opportunities exist necessarily. And so we've had a full day of panel events with different representatives from our organization speaking to the areas that they work in and providing that insight to our attendees. But beyond that, it's just a great way to network and continue to learn from one another about careers in sports, careers in production, and beyond.
I think it's important for events like this to take place so that other women can learn that there's other fields in the production world that they may be interested, that might be overlooked, so that they understand that there's opportunity elsewhere, even if it's not on camera.
In order to succeed in this business, and a lot of them, is that you just got to be willing to outwork everybody else. It's exactly what the athletes have to do. You hear every successful athlete talking about being the first one in the practice facility, being the last one out studying film. It's the same with us. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And the sacrifices that we talk about then don't become sacrifices, because you're here, you're working in sports, and if you think it's fun, nothing's a sacrifice. So you just got to be willing to hustle, never give up, work your butt off, and just keep your head up and kind of be happy you're doing it because it's fun.
Production has always drawn my attention, and so I was just talking to Lindsay actually about features being like my end goal. I think it puts a lot of emotion into sports that are already there, but it pulls on like those heartstrings and like kind of makes you like relate to the athletes you grew up admiring so much. I think it's really cool.
I personally feel that a lot of people give advice ad hoc, right, saying that, oh, it's hard because they feel threatened that you're trying to take their position. That's not the case. We're all trying to help each other out. We pave the way to have other women come in, and I think this is so important because it brings in this fostering of relationship that many people want to discourage.
It's important that women think of being a woman as an asset. I love the fact that I'm sometimes the only woman in a room because I automatically stand out. And while that can kind of make people become introverted or be a little shy or nervous, no, you just got to ride that wave, and you got to think of it as an asset, and it's going to make you stand out. And because we generally are going to think about working harder because we want to outdo everyone in the room, you are going to be better. So not only are you better, but you stand out. There's nothing else that you could possibly do, and most of the women that I work with end up being promoted faster than a lot of the men because of those reasons. So as long as you have the confidence to know that and own it and work with it, you're frankly going to do better than every other man around you.
I wish I had had an event to attend like this to provide that perspective and kind of open up the doors. And so it's so fun to be here with the Women of Fox Sports, to be able to give back and really put on these events that are going to help individuals as they grow in their career or who are looking to take that next step.
What an incredible event hosted in Los Angeles. Be sure to follow @SheIsFoxSports on social media to stay up to date on how women are shaping the industry. Well, from producers to editors, we are so fortunate to have many talented females working right here at Fox Sports San Diego. So we wanted to give one of our talented Padres POV editors, Alex Noonan, the opportunity to introduce you to a few of these amazing women.
Hey guys, my name's Alex and I work here on Padres POV, and I'm so excited to show you some of the amazing women that work here behind the camera at Fox Sports San Diego.
My name is Hannah and I'm a production assistant here at Fox Sports, and right now I'm editing a tease for the game broadcast today.
My name is Sam Glantz. I'm an associate producer. I covered Padres and I did some Ducks last year.
And my name's Sheila Simpson. I'm floor director for the Padres announcers.
I'm Shannon Shepard, and I'm a production assistant here at Fox Sports. Today I'm working on editing for the pregame show against the Angels.
I think it's really important that there are women throughout male-dominated industries such as this. It just makes me feel really proud of myself.
It's actually fun because you always have that competitive edge. There's going to be a chip on your shoulder because the margin of error for females in sports is much smaller than it is for males.
Being a female in this truck, usually, typically I am the only female in here, but it's funny because it's not something I actually notice. When you're in this truck, we're all just coworkers and just trying to get the show done the best we possibly can. I didn't know I wanted to be a producer until my boss told me, hey, this is what you're gonna do. So your options open, and there's definitely a nice fit for you here.
I would just say for those who are trying to dip their toes in the industry is to definitely persevere, keep trying. The possibilities are endless.
If you have a desire to do something like this, then go for it. I mean, life's too short, so jump in there and do what you want to do.
It's amazing to get a glimpse of all the hardworking women behind the camera at Fox Sports San Diego. Well, coming up, I sit down with 4 top female executives breaking the barriers right here in San Diego.
I think yes, people are open-minded, but I don't want to make that sound like you don't need to put in the work and the effort and the passion.
Plus, we head back to the Fox lot to get a little more insight to women in sports.
Millions of people get to see what these ladies do every day, and not many people get to say that about the work that they do.
But first, it's time for your Friar Fun Fact. Did you know that the first female owner ever of your San Diego Padres was Joan Kroc? Joan and her husband Ray were not only great baseball people, but amazing philanthropists and ambassadors for the city of San Diego. After Ray Kroc's passing, Joan donated millions of dollars to help create the Kroc Center, which is now an important, well-known facility in the San Diego community. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Women in Sports edition of Padres POV. I'm Lisa Lane here in our Fox Sports San Diego studios. At the top of the show, we shared with you the incredible seminar held in Los Angeles on the Fox lot, introducing women to the world of sports. We go back there now and hear from the top female leaders in the industry.
Women of Fox Sports has been around now for about 3 years. And a year in, we sat down with our HR and our recruiting people and we said, how can we help? How can we help change and diversify our workforce? And they said, well, we're really lacking women in 2 categories, production and then sales. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce the team that we have here today.
Live production, everybody.
For any of you, there's tons of different positions, and I don't know if you guys know all the different positions you can do. Should I just glance over them?
Sure.
Okay. So cameramen and women, and they're obviously the ones that are on the floor shooting the action. You have a stage manager who is with the talent. Generally, my talent go missing, so they have to find them. 5 minutes to air. You have people in the tape room. Your audio mixer, who controls all the microphones, the music. If you're playing a soundbite or something from tape, they track that. you have your associate director. Your associate director is on headset with our master control, and then the talent. So you've got sideline reporter, play-by-play, and an analyst. So all those people I'm talking to, they're not all talking to me at the same time, but they all talk to me at different times, and I'm hot to all of them.
There are so few of us in this business, women, I mean. So if you guys can keep on pushing and making those sacrifices, there are going to be so many women to follow you.
You are still held up to an unfair advantage, or an unfair scrutiny, I should say. Men will still look at women reporting sports, and if you make one little mistake, they'll jump on it in a second. So it's unfair, but it's the reality. It's still, it's still the landscape you're going to be dealing with as you begin your careers. And so you've got to know that stuff that can give you instant credibility. It's like, wow, for sure. Wow, she knows her stuff.
Millions of people get to see what these ladies do every day, and not many people get to say that about the work that they do.
Producing live television is so cool.
She is Fox Sports! Well, there's still a lot more to come on this special edition of Padres POV. We hold an incredible panel right here in our Fox Sports San Diego studio, where female executives share why they believe there needs to be more females in high positions.
It is going to inspire the next generations. If you see it, you can be it.
Plus, we have your Padres Plays of the Week. But first, let's test your knowledge with some Padres POV trivia. We've had many amazing female sideline reporters right here at Fox Sports San Diego. But who was our first ever female sideline reporter to bring you Padres baseball? Was it A, Britt McHenry, B, Chris Budden, or is it C, Megan O'Leary? Find out next on Padres POV. Welcome back to Padres POV. Before the break, we asked you, who was our first ever female sideline reporter to bring you Padres baseball? Was it A, Britt McHenry, B, Chris Budden, or is it C, Megan O'Leary? If you answered A, Britt McHenry, you are correct. McHenry joined Fox Sports San Diego in 2012 in its inaugural year as home to your San Diego Padres. All right, Padres fans, it's time for the top Padres Plays of the Week.
Welcome to Padres Baseball.
Will Myers is playing third base.
Will Myers makes it look easy. Will Myers looking good at third base. Left center field, Margot on the way over, dives, and Margot comes up with another spectacular catch in left center. In the air to right field for Galvis. Back goes Calhoun. At the wall, it's gone. 3 straight games that Freddie Galvis has homered in. Quite a day for the Padres. Quite a day for Freddie Galvis. He's powered up.
Well, there's still a lot more to come on Padres POV. I sit down with Fox Sports San Diego General Manager Lindsay Amstutz, who shares her advice for how to make it in a male-dominated field.
Well, we've really kind of turned our attention to figuring out how we can inspire the next group of women who will hopefully be joining our company and our industry.
Plus, I pick the brains of some of the most successful women in the local sports industry.
So I think it's important for us too, as women in what we're calling these high positions, that we become mentors ourselves.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Padres POV. Welcome back to Padres POV, our first ever women's empowerment episode. I'm Lisa Lane, and I am so honored to be sitting here in our Fox Sports San Diego studios alongside 4 incredible women who are already breaking barriers in our industry. So I do want to introduce them very quickly. We have Lindsay Amstutz. She is our Senior Vice President and General Manager of Fox Sports San Diego. Alongside her, we have the wonderful Rhonda Cedillo. She is the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of our San Diego Padres. And then next to her, we have Caroline Perry, the Vice President and General Counsel of the San Diego Padres. And of course, we have our very own Kim Playcheck, Director of Operations, right here at Fox Sports San Diego. So an incredible panel, a wealth of knowledge here, and I'm so excited to get right into it. Lindsay, why do you think it's so important to have a female leader rise to the top in all industries?
I think what's most important is that you have a collection of diverse leaders in any industry. And so whether it's men or women or people with collective different experiences, it just adds to the creativity, to the better outcomes that that organization is going to enjoy. In addition to the fact that it is going to inspire the next generation. You know, if you see it, you can be it.
Do you think there is a mental shift changing where it is about the strengths now and not just about who's dominating in the workforce?
I think yes, people are open-minded, but I don't want to make that sound like you don't need to put in the work and the effort and the passion in order to be the beneficiary of that open-mindedness. It would be a mistake, I think, to think they're looking for more women in sports, and I'm a woman, therefore I can get into sports without working hard and putting in the time and the passion. So yes, but you still need to work towards what you'd like.
And Kim, for you, you hold a position in the industry that not many females do. Once you started to have your voice heard, did you ever think it was a challenge to make sure that other men in your industry were listening to you and respecting you for the direction that you were leading them?
Sure. You know, I remember the first time I stepped into a TV truck that's predominantly male in those positions. And, you know, I felt like I really have to make sure that when I step in here, I have a presence, that they respect me. So I made sure that when I went in, I talked to everybody, I collaborated with them, I asked questions. And the next time I came back, I made sure to study the questions I asked too, so that when it came in, there was a little bit more of a respect level for my position and myself as a woman there.
Why do you think people, when they look at the sports industry, automatically they do think that's a male-dominated industry?
Potentially the teams are, you know, mostly male if you think big sporting teams, you know, but there are just as many women as there are men in the front office. It's whether they're actually making it to the top. And I think when you look across a lot of industries, there's a lot of women that are at that second tier and that are now making their ways when those top tier positions open, that are actually, you know, getting into those positions because they have the experience and they have all those other things that you need, that any great leader needs to have in order to get to the top.
And then Kim, for you, what were some of your influences when you were starting out your career, and when did you know you wanted to take this path?
I mean, I had some really great women, a director of operations that was a mentor to me. I also worked for a female executive producer in my very first job, and I remember thinking, I want to be her one day. She ran that company, and I made sure to talk to them, find out how they got to where they got to. They were great examples of strong female women in this industry.
So I think it's important for us too, as women in what we're calling these high positions, that we become mentors ourselves for the younger women that work throughout the industry and throughout our own individual companies, so that we can help offer them guidance and let them, if they've got a question or something that they want to ask, so that everybody benefits from all of us and what we've collectively learned over the years.
I think I want to just wrap things up with an advice to a young female male that just wants to break into the sports industry.
Be curious. So whatever role you're first given, do that to the best of your ability, but be asking questions, ask other opportunities that they may have for you to get involved. Just be curious.
Be in it. Don't come into it thinking my goal is to be the GM of a Major League Baseball team and that's all that I want to do. Your best chance of getting a role within the company that you want to be in is to already be there. So if there are opportunities that are open that maybe aren't an exact fit for where you hope that you're going to be in the long term, apply for those as well so that you can be in it when the opportunities that you want open up.
Great advice, all of you, and thank you again so much for your time and your insight. We really appreciate it. I know personally it's not always easy breaking into the sports industry, yet alone rising to the top. But I can tell you it's been so inspiring to work here at Fox Sports with a fearless leader like Lindsay Amstutz at the helm. And I think you'll see why. Take a look. Well, Lindsay, thank you again for the time today and sitting on the panel. Do you enjoy those opportunities?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was
such a great group of women.
It was. So now we're here in your office, and I just want to pick your brain a little bit. You've been such an advocate for women in this industry. Why did you start wanting to support organizations that are supporting females? And also, you've done a lot of great things within Fox Sports as well.
Well, thank you for that. Certainly, I had so many fantastic women that have supported me, you know, from the very beginning when I first started working in college athletics. To our head athletic director, to so many women who took the time to grab a coffee or have a phone call when really, you know, there was no reason for them to do so. And so I look for opportunities to pay it forward any chance I get.
So one of the great things we have within our own organization is the Women of Fox Sports. What is the goal of that?
The Women of Fox Sports started nearly 4 years ago with the goal of just introducing women to one another. We realized we had so many great women working at the company and we didn't know each other. So just meeting each other gave us the initial opportunity to learn from one another, to support each other. And then from that, building on this great sense of community that we now have, well, we've really kind of turned our attention to figuring out how we can inspire the next group of women who will hopefully be joining our company and our industry.
How do you see the industry changing, and how has it changed since you've joined?
The industry has changed a lot. I'm not the most patient person, so when I look around, you know, I'd love to see change faster. However, I'm reminded by a lot of my colleagues that the changes that we're seeing in the industry are really happening at a pretty remarkable pace as we see more and more women take leadership positions, you know, in the boardrooms, in the executive offices, and in production.
Where do you see the future of our industry going, especially with females taking on bigger and greater roles within the sports industry?
I'd say the future of the sports industry is really, really bright. You know, as we have an increase in the different kinds of voices that are helping tell the stories, you know, whether they're telling the stories in front of the cameras or certainly helping shape the stories behind the camera. I'm very, very excited about what the diversity of leadership in all facets will mean for our industry.
Well, thank you again, Lindsay, for the time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well, that does it for this first ever Women in Sports edition of Padres POV. I am so excited to see what the future holds for females in this industry. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Lisa Lane. Cue that rollout.
Hey, POV!
This is my one moment.
On this episode, we're getting inspired.
Hi, Max.
Is this a high school project? The thing to succeed is not being afraid to yell at people.
I'm not trying to make the rollout, but I think I just created the whole thing.
Nailed it.